Hello everyone, welcome back to Shifting Metal 2.0. We are doing another review on a tool for you. In this box, we have got something that we have seen advertised to us on Facebook and Instagram all over the place as the cheapest impact gun that we could find online. This thing is ridiculously cheap. I actually can't understand how they've made it so cheap. Today we're going to find out and see if it is actually any good, or, as like most things, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Ben, show us what we got in the box.
Well, it's certainly not a lovely case like our cheap Parkside impact gun.
No, you've got a cardboard box.
We have a cardboard box. We have like a
very questionable charger.
Like a laptop charger, which absolutely weighs nothing at all.
We're going to open this up because these chargers, you've probably got them for all types of devices. They're quite heavy, aren't they? Because they've got voltage protection and things like that, surge protection. This has got not a lot in it. We're going to find out exactly later on. 2
batteries, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
I think all of our other tools so far have just come with a 1.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bonus. Of course, every impact gun should come with one of these, like a little whizzy round corner jobber.
Yeah.
But hex, I thought this was like a 1/2-inch impact gun.
Yeah, it's an odd addition, that.
And yeah, the gun and a very comprehensive instruction manual.
So this is the item in question. You may have seen this under this brand name, Hinsync, or there are other ones that I can't even pronounce, like Chexenthium.
I've never heard of any of these.
No, well, I've seen them advertised. If you're a sort of patron of cheap online places, TEMU, that sort of stuff,
yeah,
you might have been offered these in adverts, which I have. Toby behind the camera seems to think that he's been offered them quite a lot.
So you can take wheel nuts off around corners.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so our instructions are very basic.
Is that
it doesn't even no, it's not the same tool. It doesn't even tell us the specs on here, because I might have to bring up the eBay listing where I bought this. So for the record, this kit I bought on eBay for £21.99 delivered.
You can't even buy a decent set of impact sockets for that, let alone the whole...
Or a battery for, you know, say like a Milwaukee or something you couldn't buy for that. But these are absolutely everywhere. You can find them on TEMU, is about the cheapest place, which TEMU has free shipping. And I have found this as a kit with just 1 battery, a new charger, for £15.80.
I couldn't even ship something to China for 15 quid.
How do they make something for that sort of, it's very, like, it's got weird that it's got a plastic cover over the anvil here, and then like a silicone rubber.
I mean,
it might surprise us. It might surprise us, but let me tell you what it claims.
And interestingly enough, they obviously can't be too proud of their brand because the label is peeling off.
It literally is just a sticker.
It's just a sticker.
Well, that is because it clearly is, you know, a white label product, this, because you'll see them with all different kind of names on. And what I should say is, if you do look for Hinsync impact gun, you'll find it on B&Q, which surprised me, for another £40. I think it was about £61.99 on the B&Q website.
See, if you're paying 60 quid, you might think, oh, it's cheap, but it's going to be still quite good.
Yeah.
So obviously not great value when
especially you're buying it from B&Q or DIY.com.
Well, might surprise us. It might actually be a really good bit of kit.
We then realised that B&Q are now a bit of a tool remarketing marketplace, aren't they?
Like an Amazon of DIY products, by the looks of it at the moment.
So it tells us it's a 1,350 watt motor. It has 1,000 Newton meters of torque. It doesn't tell us necessarily in what capacity, because everyone tells us in the comments from our last video on the Parkside that it's all about nut busting torque.
Breakaway nut busting torque,
yeah. This has got 1,000 apparently, which is up there with expensive Milwaukee items. Interesting as well, the images that they're showing are not the same. At least it's got a different battery on it. Yeah, it's the same, but it's got a different battery.
Does that say 108 watt, or is it the model number? A 108
VF. Yeah. 2,000 milliamp hour battery, so 2 amp hour, which is the same as pretty much everything else we've tested, but it feels pretty light and not that impressive for that, doesn't it?
Yeah, so is this a 18 volt like the Milwaukee? What is that?
I believe it's 20 volt.
20 volt?
Is it? Does it tell us? It's the problem when you buy something like this, you don't really get much information with it. It literally actually doesn't tell us. Anywhere in the information.
I mean, we can put a multimeter on this.
We could do.
And it should tell us.
Do you think we'll have any problems with, you know, like circuit and surge protection, or is it literally just positive and negative?
I was actually just looking at this, and it's just positive, negative, and you've got this additional slot here, which obviously the charger doesn't use, and neither does the tool.
No.
So, yeah, a bit of a peculiar one.
Maybe we should get some jump leads and run it off a car battery and just see just how powerful this thing can get.
Yeah.
If you were to do this with most other tools, you'd have multiple connections in there, and that would give you sort of charging protection, overheating protection.
Yeah, it's going to tell you battery voltage and stuff like that, but I have seen there is some sort of...
There is a display on the tool, but there's no display on the battery, is there?
Yeah.
We could actually open this up and see exactly what's inside, because I wouldn't be surprised if there's laptop batteries in there.
Well, I think it's the same as most battery construction. You can see each individual cell. They're kind of like, you know, the vape kind of style
18650 batteries, yeah.
Yeah, so there's looks to be a couple of those. And I suppose if we take it apart and see one, count how many there are, we can work out what is the supposed voltage of it.
We have actually charged these batteries. We want to do that ahead of time so we could test it out. But without even having tested it, my main concern so far is this charger.
Yeah, you just would not leave this unattended.
No.
I cannot emphasise just how light
there is.
That
Well, I mean, we
is.
open it up. As I say, normally I think you'd have some kind of surge protection, some voltage regulation, and these things are normally really heavy and packed full. This is a sealed unit, so you can't even open it up anyway. But I think if we open that up, there is just going to be an inline soldered in voltage reducer from 240 volt to 20 volt. Yeah, that is concerning enough. More concerning is when you Google the name Hinsync, some of the top results are from like the Gov website.
Yeah, there's a couple of local councils that have kind of, well, just put out warnings about these things can just combust and catch fire.
Yeah.
So
not specifically the impactor, but there's other things. I think they were talking about a power saw, a reciprocating saw, a few other items. Interestingly enough, not the impactor itself.
It's probably not, but all of those devices likely
Exactly.
use this battery and charger setup. And yeah,
It was the charger was the issue with all these things. But if you Google Hinsync, you will see there are quite a lot of these warnings that things have just set on fire because of the charger, and it doesn't have heat or voltage or overcharging protection.
I really want to open it up. I want to see how little there is inside.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get round to that. We'll see just how shockingly bad that is in there. But before that, we actually need to put this to the test, and I guess we will put it up against the Parkside, which was one of our last impact driver videos.
Sorry,
That's all right.
getting carried away. It's the thing, when you have a drill or any sort of thing, it's the second you've got to pick it up, you've got to give it a little brap.
Yeah. So let's have a quick look. Obviously, battery's in, so now we can see that it says it's fully charged. We seem to have 3 power modes. So, interesting choice of words. It's small, loose, self-stop, and then large.
Ah, the
that
3
refers to the-
classic settings
Power
for
settings.
batteries.
If you press the power button, nothing happens. If you hold the power button, nothing happens. So I think you need to pull the trigger, then it powers on, and then you can choose between small, medium, or large bolts, or power modes. It doesn't have... It feels quite lackluster in the hand.
Yeah. The thing is, I have said this about some of the Parkside stuff. It doesn't have that initial snap to it,
Yeah.
but they have then surprised us and actually
Well, let's
performed quite
compare
well. So interestingly enough, there's kind of like a slot on the side with a hole, which I would presume some of them came with like a belt clip, and maybe there's a threaded insert in some of those.
Possibly.
That's not a screw hole, that is just a hole straight into the side of
So
the...
there might have been a captive nut on some of them, but not on this.
but not on this one, yeah.
Do you know what? That's going to blow your mind. Obviously, the previous video, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out for this Parkside 20-volt impact gun. We compared it to the Milwaukee. This seemed heavier, a bit bigger. Wasn't quite as impressive, but still, for the price, which these, in some stores, I think even at the moment, are about £49.99, if they're available.
Excellent value.
It didn't feel quite as high quality as the Milwaukee that we were using as well. But this feels like a Rolls Royce in comparison to having just handled that. And look at the size difference as well.
Yeah, this does feel, it's hard to explain, but it just feels a bit more robust. I think it may be a bit of the weight.
There's some heft there.
Yeah, but this doesn't feel too bad. A bit of tainted vision because of the charger on it, but it doesn't feel too bad.
Let's have a comparison of snappiness.
So this takes a bit
it's quicker. The surprising thing is, the reviews on this thing are actually really good, but that's
amazing,
on TEMU, where people have paid £15, so it's not going to take much to impress you, you would think.
Yeah, and I'm doubtful people buying this do have quite a nice product to compare it to. So if this is the only, basis for comparison, you might actually be quite impressed with that one.
Right, we'll get something in here and we'll start using it and see
find its limitations.
If it's actually any good or not. Right, so I've gone digging around the farm down here to find something that we can test this on, and I found this old trailer axle off an ex-Ministry of Defence trailer, actually. It's something to do with my dad. He's a bit of a collector. But we can test the torque on this without risking damaging anything more expensive. What's the first test?
Tighten up one with the Hinsink and just see if the Parkside can get it loose, and then vice versa.
So technically, if you believe the specification, this one has 400 newton meters of power, nut-busting capabilities. This is 1,000, apparently.
Wow.
More than double. 2.5 times exactly, in fact. I
doubtful.
don't believe it.
Yep, I'm doubtful with that one.
But theoretically, anything that this does up, the Hinsink should be able to undo easily. Should we even see if it would just undo the nut that's on here? No problem.
Ah, so that's weird. It's stopped itself when it sensed that it's not impacting anymore, and it's just, let's see if it does it again.
Quite good. So it has some circuitry in there.
Yeah, something's going on in there, isn't it?
So I don't think we have that on the Parkside. I think you have that on the Parkside Professional range, or whatever it's called, Expert. I never get it right.
Well, I'm going to do it up. What's going to happen? All right, that's not going anymore.
It was actually, yeah.
That kind of maxed itself out.
Parkside, do us proud.
We have it in the full 400 Newton meter mode. No drama at all. No, didn't stop itself.
No.
But then again, neither does my Milwaukee. And I don't know if that feature will actually get quite frustrating, especially if you had like a really long threaded thing. You're there forever, just pulling the trigger.
It's not a lot of torque and it stops.
Yeah.
Right, let's try it the other way around then.
Well, my concern is
that will strip that bolt.
That this is going to literally snap the head of this off.
Right, to save shearing off the bolt in our little trailer axle, Ben thinks that even the Parkside might rip the head off those bolts. We're going to do it on this old Massey Ferguson tractor out here. This should be able to take some pretty serious torque. So what we're going to do now is tighten it up with the Parkside and see if we can undo it with the Hinsink.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's even if the Parkside can get these rusty bolts off, because they're already looking pretty corroded. But see how we get on. Lovely jubbly. All right, we'll tighten it up with the Parkside now. Pretty safe to say that's not moving anymore. I'll switch it over to the Hinsink. We are in small mode, I think. Okie dokie, so you can only change the power mode for tighten it up. The second you turn into reverse, a light then illuminates for loose self-stop, which you can turn self-stop off, that function we were experiencing. And now we are ready to undo. So it was this one here.
Wow.
Okie dokie, so it did struggle there a little bit, but
it got there.
It did do the job.
Shall I go and get the old torque wrench and...
Yeah, let's get a torque wrench and let's start working out actually at what torque spec they start undoing, I think.
So, Newton meters.
Shall we jump to 150?
Yeah. I think it's about where the Parkside gave up last time, wasn't it? We know what the Parkside can do. Let's try the Hinsink.
Easy. No issues at all. What are we going to next?
Should we do 160?
I reckon we can jump up even more than that.
Yeah. Is that easy? 170 then.
I'm rooting for it now.
I can't believe how light it is for considering what it's just done. What is the battery level saying? Still saying full.
Oh yeah.
Should we test that with the part side? Because I don't think the part side can do that.
We'll give it a go. Obviously, there's going to be slight differences because that wheel bolt was a taper going into an alloy wheel. It has a slightly different thread, so it's going to behave a bit differently. I really hope the part side can do it.
Everyone in the comments needs to be routine, because as of the last video, we've started giving away these parkside items. So really this video is about the hinge sink, but we don't want to give this away just because I don't trust the charger. So from this video, you can go to our competition website, feelgoodcompetitions.com, and find this for free. Just get yourself a free entry. So really, we all need to be rooting for this to actually be better than the cheap alternative.
And not a lot of people have entered the competition for the ratchet, so yeah, your odds of actually getting it are really high.
So we're at 170 now. Will this undo it? Let's make sure we are on the highest mode. Easy.
Dare I say it, easier than the hinge sink.
Yeah, I would say so. I think these probably undo a lot easier because of the way this tractor's set up with the spring washer. Maybe they're slightly easier to undo than a standard wheel bolt. Should we just go all the way up to 200?
Yep.
Because I feel like that part side will take that off, and perhaps maybe the hinge sink won't.
I think the hinge sink might struggle here. Yeah.
Surprisingly good. We could be here all day doing this. Yeah.
I felt like the park side was labouring just a little bit there, like we might be getting to its...
Yeah, but it's still better than the hinge sink, I think. The max we can go up to on this is 230.
Let's do it.
Maximum.
All the way to the maximum. If we max out on this, I'm going to have to go get my extra long...
Careful what you say now.
Digital one.
Right, that's 230 Newton meters.
Come on, one of them's got to give up at 230.
Took a while, but it did it.
Interesting. Speaking of light, does it have a light?
It does have a light. Right, don't fail me now, Parkside. No problem.
No problem whatsoever.
So we haven't reached the limits of either of these today, which is irritating.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be quite a significant difference between the two.
Seemingly not.
Pretty comparable right now. And I don't think we're a million miles away from reaching the hinge sink's limit.
Yeah.
So let us go grab a larger torque wrench that can probably go up to maybe 250 next and see where we land. So where did we say next?
We were at 230, so we could go 250 or we could go 260.
Let's give 250 a bash. Right, 250. $250 again. Let's see if Parkside is up to the challenge.
Yeah, that was quite easy, wasn't it?
Easy. Should we step it all the way up to 300?
Let's do it.
Still fully charged.
Can't really knock it so far.
It's actually pretty good, isn't it? Maximum power mode. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you want to get up to next?
How high does this thing go?
Let me tell you. It goes to a 340.
Let's do it.
Sorry, 339.
Oh.
Ordinarily, you would never torque something
Yeah.
that high. Well, you do, but what will happen is you'll have a base setting of like 100 newton meters, and then you'll do angles from there.
Yeah. It took a while, but I could just start to see it move.
Okay, that is, yeah, surprised me. I thought this thing would have conked out by now.
Yeah, long before now. I wonder if it's somehow the lightness of it is allowing it to like have a quick snappiness or something for its...
I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see if the Parkside can get this off.
Just
And that was like a little help from me, like
jiggling it around.
jiggling it around.
Yeah.
I think the Hinsink might be the more powerful impact gun here,
Shockingly.
which is quite disappointing actually.
But that said, the overall power of it as two tools brand new out of the box isn't the whole story, is it?
Well, no, there isn't. Warranty, you've got a whole ecosystem of tools that accept this battery. You know, I'm sure you can go out and find Hinsink tools that are going to accept the same battery, but this definitely has a wider...
Yeah. Quality, just of build, that definitely feels better.
Yes, this does.
That feels like it
definitely
will
feel
last better than this. You don't know how long this is going to last. Plus the Parkside does have built-in charging protection, so it's not going to burn your house down and end up featured on the Gov website like this
On the
brand has.
just on the charging principle alone, I would never own that product, despite
No.
how much it's impressed me.
If you're clever with your tech stuff though, and you could find out exactly what input you needed for that, and you could get a proper charger to charge this, then you might be onto something.
Well, I did actually see an adapter. I think it adapted it down to DeWalt batteries.
Right, okay.
But obviously, that's going to be quite a clunky thing with an adapter in there and then the battery on top again. But
Yeah.
that could be a way around that.
Has surprised us though. Let's head back inside. There's a couple other things we want to check out, and then we can kind of give our verdict on it. Right, so as we said, it actually surprised us.
Yeah, it has. To my surprise, very surprised.
I mean, the problem with white goods like this, having been able to buy it on TEMU for £15, if you get that, like we've experienced today, that's pretty damn impressive.
I can see why there are good reviews, even
Yeah.
if you do have decent quality comparable tools to compare them to. You know, that is,
You're going to have low expectations, and it's going to blast through them.
yeah, absolutely.
The only concern is with white goods, rebranded stuff, whether you actually get the same thing or not. And with China, one thing I noticed, I used to have an import and export business dealing with electronics from China, is they tend to build them with whatever is available, especially whatever is available cheaply. So the actual internal components of that may change from one batch to the other. So unlike Parkside, Milwaukee, brands that are building their things with the same components to a standard, I can't say that that's 100% what is going to happen with
Yeah, so
Hinsink.
if you go and buy one off the back of this video and it turns out to be total,
Don't blame us. Yeah, we're
Don't blame
not
us.
actually recommending you buy this, mainly because this charger, unlike the Parkside one here, you can see has got venting. It literally slots your battery into it. It's got
a bit of heft to it as well.
an extra element on here, which will be something to do with its safety features, and it will have temperature cut off, overcharge cut off, things like that. This, I don't believe, does have it. I mean, the difference in weight is 10, 20 times over.
I mean, there obviously is something in there
Yeah.
because we're putting voltage in at this end and getting
Yeah.
20 volts or whatever out of this end, but
We're going to
it
find
feels
out.
like there's nothing in there.
Yeah,
It just feels like the weight of a
think
plastic
there's
case.
just going to be an inline voltage reducer in there, which just isn't up to the task of doing this. So let's grab a little hacksaw. I'll try a junior hacksaw.
And interestingly enough, back to a comment I made before, can you see there's the shape of a hex
Yes, you can,
in
but
there?
the nut would go in.
where a nut would go in? So yeah, you may find yourself with models that do have
Yeah.
attachments
Or-
or belt clips.
If you had one off an old tool that's broken or something, you might be able to retrofit it in a way
Yeah.
to have like a belt thing like this. Maybe I was better off with a full-size hacksaw. let's crack out the old Milwaukee and see if we can't just pry it open now. Oh, okay, so actually, we didn't even need to cut it. Despite having false kind of screw holes in the bottom, it looks like it actually is just latched.
Wow.
Actually more than I expected, but still not enough.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, there's nothing really going on in there, is there?
No. Nothing that's really giving you much confidence there, is there? I mean, the majority of that is for the LED, which will tell you when this has reached a certain voltage and it changes from red to green. But also make note of 0 earth. There's no earth on this whatsoever. It's just power in and out.
I'm not sure on the regulations of things, but aren't when things totally encased in plastic, you don't have to have an earth in them?
I don't know. You could be right. You could be right.
I mean, it is fused, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it shows on the socket that it's got an earth point, but what's it earthing?
Well, a lot of electrical appliances don't actually have earth.
No, I know. Yeah,
I mean, is
I'm not
there
an
even a
electrical expert.
fuse? Have we even checked to see if there's a fuse in there? Is it?
Well, I'd be amazed if there isn't, but... Yeah, and it conforms to the British standard 1362, apparently.
Ah, the old classic 1362. Know all about that.
Yeah, I mean, all I say is, just if you do buy one, you'll probably actually end up with a tool that will surprise you. Just be very, very careful of the charging system, or look into, factor in the fact that you're going to need to get a different charger for it.
With this third slot in here, there may be available on the market a charger like this, which may be more robust, but obviously that isn't what's being sold in a lot of cases. I think every single instance we've seen online, it has been this charger.
Shall we open a battery? Because
yes,
with the Parkside, there's also going to be circuit boards in here that will protect it. This is the...
If only we had a funky little screwdriver set.
Well, we do have some kind of circuit board protection, but you're right, they are literally 18650 batteries, so those of you who use vapes and things like that, these are the same type of batteries you would see, well, they're laptop batteries, kind of traditionally, that have then been started to be used for torches, is what I used to use them in. For my import-export business was actually torches, infrared torches, things like that, and these were the types of batteries that we used. They're just generally very good purpose, rechargeable batteries. We might find it's exactly the same in here. In fact, shall we open the Parkside as well?
So these are totally unnamed, unbranded batteries. I think a lot of people try to go with Samsung, don't they? For
yeah, Samsung are good ones, but do you know what you'll find as well? That because 18650 batteries have become, well, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but more popular. They're used in more things now because of vapes, torches, etc. Not just making up battery packs for larger things. That I have had them before. You buy them from China, and you might find that in there is sand and a tiny little button cell battery, because it's still 3 volts, but it just won't have the amp hour. You never know what you're getting with China. This is the problem. This little work zone screwdriver set from Aldi is actually proving pretty handy right now. We are going to do a separate video on this, so you can check that out. But for £8.99, look at all that. What a bargain kit. Yeah, we do have twice as many, but they are also 18650 batteries.
What's the claimed amp hour rating on that battery?
2 amp hour. Each one of these batteries is 2 amp hour.
I think it's is it watt hour you can, once you get to a certain voltage and you're adding batteries on, not in...
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, it looks like interesting that there's a switch there, which isn't accessible from the outside. So I think that's a hard reset button. It's nice to see that there's actually some thermal paste in there, giving it a bit of a heat sink for this circuit board, which we're not seeing anything going on there, are we? Again, that's kind of heat protection, protecting this thing.
Yeah, I don't like how on this one, this wire has been quite clearly pinched in the case.
Yeah. So yeah, we are dealing with the same thing, in theory, just done to a much nicer standard.
You can tell as well, all these little tabs that are picking up each individual cell are all formed into the same thing, but here you just do have some pretty poor quality soldering going to each little bank of batteries.
Yeah, again, that's the sort of thing that would probably worry you, were that battery to get wet. I feel like that's not going to have as much protection as this would.
Yeah, so with this battery as well, you do have like a recess which slots all the way around, which I guess would help with a bit of moisture protection as well.
But yeah, there we have it. Although this video has been on the Hinsync, which has surprised us with its performance, not necessarily its quality, it's the Parkside that you'll be able to find on Feel Good Competitions, so get yourself over there, links in the description. We need to score it at 10, Ben, on just a general overall score.
Taking into consideration the charger, I'd probably go with a 4 or a 5, but I think had I seen a better charger, maybe not so much battery setup, it definitely could have been up there in the 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Certainly value, there's no doubt, it's a 10 out of 10 for value.
Until it burns down your house.
Until it burns down your house.
Then it's very poor value, because that gets quite expensive, usually.
Yeah, it's a hard one to judge, isn't it, when you do have actually quite a good core product and then something that lets it down so poorly.
I think you're going to struggle, although I have seen this advertised on TEMU, good luck with following up on your warranty, with a 5-year warranty.
Wow.
I don't believe it. I mean, they'll just send you out another one, I imagine.
Yeah.
Which, again, yeah. So proceed with caution. It is actually surprisingly good for performance, longevity, can't say. And if you're interested in the Parkside, we're giving it away for free, so head over to Feel Good Competitions. That'll be it for this video. But if you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, hype it up.
Hype. Yes, absolutely.
All important, apparently. That is it. You can check out Ben's channel as well, and my main channel, that's Shifting Metal and Ben Thompson Cars.
Thank you.
We will see you next time with another tool, hopefully slightly better quality. Bye-bye.
Take care.